So one of the many things that I have found over the decades, dare I say, about the online space is that often there is almost a presumption. When you see somebody online, it used to be when you saw someone on TV, you'd have this question saying, are they really who they say they are on TV? Nowadays, it's the online space, with hybrid working and sometimes only seeing people through Zoom and online. It's a little bit harder for some people to really understand or to get what people are about. And one of the things, and it's interesting, I was recently interviewed on a podcast where we were talking about this, but one of the things that a lot of people will do is assume the worst. Now, this isn't because they're bad people, it's not because they're bad people. Human nature is to err on the side of caution. So today's video, I wanted to share very briefly about how, when I come across how I would like you to hear what I share and how almost like how I'm perceived, because it hasn't happened a lot, but over the years, sometimes people will assume the worst. So if you are either struggling with being visible in some way, maybe you're worried about being visible, maybe you are looking for more visibility, so you don't have a crisis of confidence or a concern ever, but you're looking to be out there in the world a bit more, maybe grow your audience, grow the number of eyeballs looking at you. Maybe you're wanting to do this in how you speak from the stage, or maybe you're wanting to do it through the screen. Maybe you have a business and you want to be able to sell your services well on screen, or you work for a business and you want to convey credibility to the business's customers. The point isn't how you do it and it has to be a certain way. The point that I would like people to understand is that I see visibility, I know, very differently from a lot of other people. So number one, the reason why I'm so passionate about being visible is you. I kind of don't care if I have to sit in a dark cupboard for the rest of my life and help other people to shine, other people to be visible. I am a visibility specialist, the visibility queen for you. So that's the first thing that I'd really love you to know. The other thing is, I'm not a tough love type of person. There are tough love coaches and mentors and organisations out there, and they do well because that's who they are. That's not who I am. So quite often people expect me to be ruthless and say, no, that's rubbish and you've done that, and challenge them or throw them under a bus or force them into doing something, and that's just not who I am. So if you're already in my world, you'll know that. If you come into my world, you'll experience that. Third thing is, I'm pretty authentic. I could have edited that out, but I coughed. The world isn't going to end because I coughed on a video. Now, for a small percentage of people, you might have seen that and gone, she shouldn't have left that in, she should have got rid of it. Look how red it made her nose go. But actually, when it comes to being visible, the more that we humanise it, humanise ourselves, humanise what we do, it has more people either gravitate towards you or decide that they're not for you, and that's okay. So I will always show up 100% authentically. There are things I can do to help you to get out there, but I don't just do it from a cookie cutter approach. The way in which you are to be visible or you are to be more seen and make the impact that you want to make in the world depends on who you are, what you do, how you do it, who your most kind of favourite clients are, the best people for you to work with, your purpose, your journey, and your personality. So when I created the Visibility Vibes framework, it is a framework, which means that you get to put your personality, your worth, and your work on the framework. And some of those pillars you might not ever need to do, and some of them you might need to dive deeper into. But the point is, this isn't an approach to come and work with me and you have to do everything I say my way or the highway. I found that over the years, well over a decade, nearly a decade and a half, it just doesn't work. So how do I want to be portrayed is exactly like this. I show up on camera, you know, even the accidental coughing helped me to make a genuine point. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned. And I know that you might have been taught that it's good to do that to grab people's attention, but I'm not that person. If you're looking for the performance, the act, the showbiz, you know, the background in TV, the background in acting, there are lots of other people that can show you that way. I might not be for you, and I'm okay with that. But what I will do is I will keep showing up consistently so that you know that you can put your trust in me, that you know I'm still here. And whether you're on the corporate side of the fence or the entrepreneurial side of the fence, that you know I'm still here for you. If you ever have questions about what it would be like to work with me, then contact me. Wherever you're watching this video, there'll be an opportunity for you to contact me, you know, for us to discover something. But another thing that you need to know about how I work is that when we get on a call, albeit a sales call, my job isn't to persuade you into doing something that you don't want to do or you're not sure about. I will literally ask you questions. If we're on Zoom, you'll see the top of my head as I'm writing things down. And then, a bit like a doctor giving a diagnosis, I will say, well, given these symptoms that you have, here's what I recommend for you. And even then, even though that could be the perfect fit, sometimes it's still not what you want for whatever reason. Most common reason is people say, I'm going to go off and do it myself. Well, it's a bit like trying to cut your own hair. You can do a pretty good job of it until you get to that bit at the back and you're like that, looking around, trying to get to it, but not quite got it. And all that does is leaves you feeling even more frustrated. So that's it. That's how I would love you to see my work. And if you don't get it, that's okay too. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.